Welcome to my channel. In this video, you'll hear a powerful reading from the book of Enoch, starting where we left off and continuing through the end of the second book. Let's dive in. Oh, that mine eyes were a cloud of waters, that I might weep over you and pour down my tears as a cloud of waters, that so I might rest from my trouble of heart. Who has permitted you to practice reproaches and wickedness? And so judgment shall overtake you, sinners. Fear not the sinners, ye righteous. For again will the Lord deliver them into your hands, that ye may execute judgment upon them according to your desires. Woe to you who fulminate anathemas, which cannot be reversed. Healing shall therefore be far from you because of your sins. Woe to you who requite your neighbor with evil, for ye shall be requited according to your works. Woe to you, lying witnesses, and to those who weigh out injustice, for suddenly shall ye perish. Woe to you, sinners, for ye persecute the righteous, for ye shall be delivered up and persecuted. Because of injustice, and heavy shall its yoke be upon you. Be hopeful, ye righteous, for suddenly shall the sinners perish before you, and ye shall have lordship over them according to your desires. And in the day of the tribulation of the sinners, your children shall mount and rise as eagles, and higher than the vultures will be your nest, and ye shall ascend and enter the crevices of the earth, and the clefts of the rock forever, as conies before the unrighteous. And the sirens shall sigh because of you and weep, wherefore fear not, ye that have suffered. For healing shall be your portion, and a bright light shall enlighten you, and the voice of rest ye shall hear from heaven. Woe unto you, ye sinners! For your riches make you appear like the righteous, but your hearts convict you of being sinners, and this fact shall be a testimony against you for a memorial of your evil deeds. Woe to you who devour the finest of the wheat, and drink wine in large bowls, and tread underfoot the lowly with your might. Woe to you who drink water from every fountain, for suddenly shall ye be consumed, and wither away, because ye have forsaken the fountain of life. Woe to you who work unrighteousness and deceit and blasphemy. It shall be a memorial against you for evil. Woe to you, ye mighty, who with might oppress the righteous, for the day of your destruction is coming. In those days many and good days shall come to the righteous, in the day of your judgment. Believe, ye righteous, that the sinners will become a shame and perish in the day of unrighteousness. Be it known unto you, ye sinners, that the Most High is mindful of your destruction, and the angels of heaven rejoice over your destruction. What will ye do, ye sinners? And whither will ye flee on that day of judgment, when ye hear the voice of the prayer of the righteous? Yea, ye shall fare like unto them, against whom this word shall be a testimony. Ye have been companions of sinners, and in those days the prayer of the righteous shall reach unto the Lord. And for you the days of your judgment shall come, and all the words of your unrighteousness shall be read out before the great Holy One, and your faces shall be covered with shame, and he will reject every work which is grounded on unrighteousness. Woe to you, ye sinners, who live on the mid-ocean and on the dry land, whose remembrance is evil against you. Woe to you who acquire silver and gold in unrighteousness, and say, We have become rich with riches, and have possessions, and have acquired everything we have desired. And now let us do what we purposed, for we have gathered silver, and many are the husbandmen in our houses, and our granaries are brimful as with water. Yea, and like water your lies shall flow away, for your riches shall not abide, but speedily ascend from you. For ye have acquired it all in unrighteousness, and ye shall be given over to a great curse. And now I swear unto you, to the wise and to the foolish, for ye shall have manifold experiences on the earth. For ye men shall put on more adornments than a woman, and coloured garments more than a virgin, in royalty and in grandeur and in power, and in silver and in gold and in purple and in splendour and in food, they shall be poured out as water. Therefore they shall be wanting in doctrine and wisdom, and they shall perish thereby together with their possessions, and with all their glory and their splendour, and in shame and in slaughter, and in great destitution. their spirits shall be cast into the furnace of fire. I have sworn unto you, ye sinners, as a mountain has not become a slave, and a hill does not become the handmaid of a woman, even so sin has not been sent upon the earth, but man of himself has created it. And under a great curse shall they fall who commit it. And barrenness has not been given to the woman, but on account of the deeds of her own hands she dies without children. I have sworn unto you, ye sinners, by the Holy Great One, that all your evil deeds are revealed in the heavens, and that none of your deeds of oppression are covered and hidden. And do not think in your spirit, nor say in your heart, that ye do not know, and that ye do not see. Every sin is daily recorded in heaven before the Most High. From henceforth ye know that all your oppression, wherewith ye oppress, is written down every day, till the day of your judgment. Woe to you, ye fools! For through your folly shall ye perish, and ye transgress against the wise, and so good hap shall not be your portion. And now know ye that ye are prepared for the day of destruction. Wherefore do not hope to live, ye sinners, but ye shall depart and die, for ye know no ransom. For ye are prepared for the day of the great judgment, for the day of tribulation and great shame for your spirits. Woe to you, ye obstinate of heart, who work wickedness and eat blood. Whence have ye good things to eat and to drink and to be filled? From all the good things which the Lord the Most High has placed in abundance on the earth. Therefore ye shall have no peace. Woe to you who love the deeds of unrighteousness. Wherefore do ye hope for good hap unto yourselves? Know that ye shall be delivered into the hands of the righteous, and they shall cut off your necks and slay you, and have no mercy upon you. Woe to you who rejoice in the tribulation of the righteous. For no grave shall be dug for you. Woe to you who set at naught the words of the righteous, for ye shall have no hope of life. Woe to you who write lying and godless words, for they write their lies that men may hear them and act godlessly towards their neighbor. Therefore they shall have no peace, but die a sudden death. Woe to you who work godlessness, and glory in lying and extol them. Ye shall perish, and no happy life shall be yours. Woe to them who pervert the words of uprightness and transgress the eternal law and transform themselves into what they were not, into sinners. They shall be trodden under foot upon the earth. In those days make ready, ye righteous, to raise your prayers as a memorial and place them as a testimony before the angels, that they may bring the sin of the sinners before the Most High as a memorial. In those days the nations shall be stirred up, and the families of the nations shall arise on the day of destruction. And in those days the destitute shall go forth and carry off their children, and they shall abandon them, so that their children shall perish through them. Yea, they shall abandon their children that are still sucklings, and not return to them, and shall have no pity on their beloved ones. And again I swear to you, ye sinners, that sin is prepared for a day of unceasing bloodshed. And they who worship stones and grave images of gold and silver and wood and clay, and those who worship impure spirits and demons, and all kinds of idols, not according to knowledge, so shall they perish. And in those days blessed are all they who accept the words of wisdom and understand them, and observe the paths of the Most High, and walk in the path of his righteousness, and become not godless with the godless, for they shall be saved. Woe to you who spread evil to your neighbors, for you shall be slain in Sheol. Woe to you who make deceitful and false measures, and to those who cause bitterness on the earth, for they shall thereby be utterly consumed. Woe to you who build your houses through the grievous toil of others, and all their building materials are the bricks and stones of sin. I tell you, ye shall have no peace. Woe to them who reject the measure and eternal heritage of their fathers, and whose souls follow after idols, for they shall have no rest. Woe to them who work unrighteousness, and help oppression, and slay their neighbors until the day of the great judgment. For he shall cast down your glory, and bring affliction on your hearts, and shall arouse his fierce indignation, and destroy you all with the sword. And all the holy and righteous shall remember your sins. And in those days in one place the fathers together with their sons shall be smitten, and brothers one with another shall fall in death, till the streams flow with their blood. For a man shall not withhold his hand from slaying his sons and his sons' sons. And the sinner shall not withhold his hand from his honored brother. From dawn till sunset they shall slay one another, and the horse shall walk up to the breast in the blood of sinners, and the chariot shall be submerged to its height. In those days the angels shall descend into the secret places, and gather together into one place all those who brought down sin. And the Most High will arise on that day of judgment to execute great judgment among sinners. And over all the righteous and holy he will appoint guardians from among the holy angels to guard them as the apple of an eye, until he makes an end of all wickedness and all sin. And though the righteous sleep a long sleep, they have. And the children of the earth shall see the wise in security, and shall understand all the words of this book, and recognize that their riches shall not be able to save them in the overthrow of their sins. Woe to you, sinners, on the day of strong anguish! Ye who afflict the righteous and burn them with fire, ye shall be requited according to your works. Woe to you, ye obstinate of heart, who watch in order to devise wickedness. Therefore shall fear come upon you, and there shall be none to help. Woe to you, ye sinners, on account of the words of your mouth, and on account of the deeds of your hands, which your godlessness has wrought. In blazing flames, burning worse than fire, shall ye burn. And now know ye that from the angels he will inquire as to your deeds in heaven, from the sun and from the moon and from the stars, in reference to your sins, because upon the earth ye execute judgment on the righteous. And he will summon to testify against you every cloud and mist and dew and rain, for they shall all be withheld because of you from descending upon you, and they shall be mindful of your sins. And now give presents to the rain, that it be not withheld from descending upon you, nor yet the dew, when it has received gold and silver from you, that it may descend. When the hoarfrost and snow with their chilliness, and all the snowstorms with all their plagues fall upon you, in those days ye shall not be able to stand before them. Observe the heaven, ye children of heaven, and every work of the Most High, and fear ye him, and work no evil in his presence. If he closes the windows of heaven, and withholds the rain and the dew from descending on the earth on your account, what will ye do then? And if he sends his anger upon you because of your deeds, ye cannot petition him. Ye will speak no word against his righteousness. What will ye do then, ye sinners? And whither will ye flee on that day of judgment, when ye hear the voice of the prayer of the righteous? Yea, ye shall fare like unto them, against whom this word shall be a testimony. Ye have been companions of sinners. And in those days the prayer of the righteous shall reach unto the Lord. And for you the days of your judgment shall come, and all the words of your unrighteousness shall be read out before the great Holy One, and your faces shall be covered with shame. And he will reject every work which is grounded on unrighteousness. Woe to you who spread evil to your neighbors, for you shall be slain in Sheol. And now, who will measure the earth for you, and ascertain the depth of the abyss? Or who will take the measure of the height of the heaven? Or on what foundation is it fastened? Or who is he that made the circle of the heaven and the earth? And all the luminaries in the heaven are a complete circle, and their rising and setting are due to the sun and the stars, and they are each one in their own circle. And the first is the one that is not seen. The stars and the moon and the sun all keep the proper order as the Lord has commanded. In the same way the winds blow and the clouds give rain at his word. The lightning and the dew do their part, according to his command. He has kept the treasure houses of the voice of the thunder and the light of the lightning, and all things are his. In those days when he hath brought a grievous fire upon you, whither will ye flee, and where will ye find deliverance? And when he launches forth his word against you, will you not be affrighted and fear? And all the luminaries shall be affrighted with great fear, and all the earth shall be affrighted and tremble and be alarmed, and all the angels shall execute their commands, and shall seek to hide themselves from the presence of the great glory, and the children of earth shall tremble and quake. And ye sinners shall be cursed forever, and ye shall have no peace. Fear ye not, ye souls of the righteous, and be hopeful, ye that have died in righteousness. And grieve not, if your soul into Sheol has descended in grief, and that in your life. Your body fared not according to your goodness, but wait for the day of the judgment of sinners, and for the day of cursing and chastisement. And yet, when ye die, the sinners speak over you. As we die, so die the righteous. And what benefit do they reap for their deeds? Behold, even as we, so do they die in grief and darkness. And what have they more than we? From henceforth we are equal. And what will they receive, and what will they see forever? Behold, they too have died, and henceforth forever shall they see no light. I tell you, ye sinners, ye are content to eat and drink and rob and sin and strip men naked and acquire wealth and see good days. Have ye seen the righteous how their end falls out, that no manner of violence is found in them till their death? Nevertheless they perished and became as though they had not been, and their spirits descended into Sheol in tribulation. Now therefore I swear to you, the righteous, by the glory of the great and honored and mighty one in dominion, and by his greatness I swear to you, I understand this mystery. For I have read the tablets of heaven, and have seen the writing of the holy ones, and have found written and inscribed therein regarding them, that all goodness and joy and glory are prepared for them, and written down for the spirits of those who have died in righteousness, and that manifold good shall be given to you in recompense for your labors, and that your lot is abundantly beyond the lot of the living. And the spirits of you who have died in righteousness shall live and rejoice, and their spirits shall not perish, nor their memorial from before the face of the Great One, unto all the generations of the world. Wherefore no longer fear their contumely. Woe to you, ye sinners, when ye have died, if ye die in the wealth of your sins, and those who are like you say regarding you, Blessed are the sinners, they have seen all their days, and how they have died in prosperity and in wealth, and have not seen tribulation or murder in their life, and they have died in honor, and judgment has not been executed on them during their life. Know ye that their souls will be made to descend into Sheol, and they shall be wretched in their great tribulation, and into darkness and chains and a burning flame, where there is grievous judgment shall your spirits enter. And the great judgment shall be for all the generations of the world. Woe to you, for ye shall have no peace. Say not in regard to the righteous and good who are in life, In our troubled days we have toiled laboriously and experienced every trouble, and met with much evil and been consumed, and have become few and our spirits small. And we have been destroyed and have not found any to help us even with a word. We have been tortured and destroyed, and not hope to see life from day to day. We hope to be the head and have become the tail. We have toiled laboriously and had no satisfaction in our toil. And we have become the food of the sinners and the unrighteous, and they have laid their yoke heavily upon us. They have had dominion over us that hated us and smote us. And to those that hated us we have bowed our necks, but they pitied us not. We desired to get away from them, that we might escape and be at rest, but found no place whereunto we should flee and be safe from them. And are complained to the rulers in our tribulation, and cried out against those who devoured us. But they did not heed our cries, and would not hearken to our voice. And they helped those who robbed us and devoured us, and those who made us few. And they concealed their oppression, and they did not remove from us the yoke of those that devoured us, and dispersed us, and murdered us. And they concealed their murder, and remembered not that they had lifted up their hands against us. I swear unto you that in heaven the angels remember you for good before the glory of the Great One, and your names are written before the glory of the Great One. Be hopeful, For aforetime ye were put to shame through ill and affliction. But now ye shall shine as the lights of heaven. Ye shall shine, and ye shall be seen, and the portals of heaven shall be opened to you. And in your cry for judgment, and it shall appear to you. For all your tribulation shall be visited on the rulers, and on all who help those who plundered you. Be hopeful, and cast not away your hopes, for ye shall have great joy as the angels of heaven. What shall ye be obliged to do? Ye shall not have to hide on the day of the great judgment, and ye shall not be found as sinners, and the eternal judgment shall be far from you for all the generations of the world. And now fear not, ye righteous, when ye see the sinners growing strong and prospering in their ways. Be not companions with them, but keep afar from their violence, for ye shall become companions of the hosts of heaven. Although ye sinners say, all our sins shall not be searched out and be written down, nevertheless they shall write down all your sins every day. And now I show unto you that light and darkness, day and night see all your sins. Be not godless in your hearts, and lie not and alter not the words of uprightness, nor charge with lying the words of the Holy Great One, nor take account of your idols. For all your lying and all your godlessness issue not in righteousness, but in great sin. And now I know this mystery, that sinners will alter and pervert the words of righteousness in many ways, and will speak wicked words and lie, and practice great deceits, and write books concerning their words. But when they write down truthfully all my words in their languages, and do not change or diminish anything from my words, but write them all down truthfully, all that I first testified concerning them, then I know another mystery, that books will be given to the righteous and the wise, to become a cause of joy and uprightness and much wisdom. And to them shall the books be given, and they shall believe in them and rejoice over them. And then shall all the righteous who have learnt therefrom all the paths of uprightness be recompensed. In those days the Lord bade them to summon and testify to the children of earth concerning their wisdom. Show it unto them, for ye are their guides, and a recompense over the whole earth. For I and my Son will be united with them forever in the paths of uprightness in their lives, and ye shall have peace. Rejoice, ye children of uprightness. Amen. And after some days my son Methuselah took a wife for his son Lamech, and she became pregnant by him and bore a son. And his body was white as snow and red as the blooming of a rose, and the hair of his head and his long locks were white as wool, and his eyes beautiful. And when he opened his eyes, he lighted up the whole house like the sun. And the whole house was very bright. And thereupon he arose in the hands of the midwife, opened his mouth, and conversed with the Lord of righteousness. And fear came upon his father Lamech, and he fled and came to his father Methuselah, and he said unto him, I have begotten a strange son, diverse from and unlike man, and resembling the sons of the God of heaven. And his nature is different, and he is not like us, and his eyes are as the rays of the sun, and his countenance is glorious. And it seems to me that he is not sprung from me, but from the angels. And I fear that in his days a wonder may be wrought on the earth. And now, my father, I am here to petition thee and implore thee that thou mayest go to Enoch our father, and learn from him the truth, for his dwelling place is amongst the angels. And when Methuselah heard the words of his son, he came to me, to the ends of the earth, for he had heard that I was there, and he cried aloud, and I heard his voice, and came to him. And I said unto him, Behold, here am I, my son, wherefore hast thou come to me? And he answered and said, Because of a great cause of anxiety have I come to thee, and because of a disturbing vision have I approached. And now, my father, hear me. Unto Lamech my son there hath been born a son, the like of whom there is none, and his nature is not like man's nature, and the colour of his body is whiter than snow, and redder than the bloom of a rose, and the hair of his head is whiter than white wool, and his eyes are like the rays of the sun. And he opened his eyes, and therewith lighted up the whole house. And he arose in the hands of the midwife, and opened his mouth and blessed the Lord of heaven. And his father Lamech became afraid, and fled to me, and did not believe that he was sprung from him, but that he was in the likeness of the angels of heaven. And behold, I have come to thee, that thou mayest make known to me the truth. And I, Enoch, answered, and said unto him, The Lord will do a new thing on the earth, and this I have already seen in a vision, and make known to thee that in the generation of my father Jared some of the angels of heaven transgressed the word of the Lord. And behold, they commit sin and transgress the law, and have united themselves with women, and commit sin with them, and have married some of them, and have begotten children by them. And there shall come a great destruction over the whole earth, and there shall be a deluge and a great destruction for 1 year. And this son who has been born unto your son shall be left on the earth, and his 3 children shall be saved with him. When all mankind that are on the earth shall die, he and his sons shall be saved. And now make known to thy son Lamech that he who is born is in truth his son, and call his name Noah. For he shall be left to you, and he and his sons shall be saved from the destruction which shall come upon the earth on account of all the sin and all the unrighteousness which shall be consummated on the earth in his days. And after that there shall be still more unrighteousness than that which was first consummated on the earth. For I know the mysteries of the holy ones, for he, the Lord, has showed me and informed me, and I have read them in the heavenly tablets. And I saw written on them that generation upon generation shall transgress, till a generation of righteousness arises, and transgression is destroyed, and sin passes away from the earth, and all manner of good comes upon it. And now, my son, go, and make known to thy son Lamech that this son which is born is in truth his son, and that this is no lie. And when Methuselah had heard the words of his father Enoch, for he had shown to him everything in secret, he returned and showed them to him, and called the name of that son Noah, for he will comfort the earth after all the destruction. Another book which Enoch wrote for his son Methuselah, and for those who will come after him, and keep the law in the last days. Ye who have done good shall wait for those days, till an end is made of those who work evil, and an end of the might of the transgressors. And wait ye indeed till sin has passed away, for their names shall be blotted out of the book of life, and out of the holy books, and their seed shall be destroyed for ever, and their spirits shall be slain. And they shall cry and make lamentation in a place that is a chaotic wilderness, and in the fire shall they burn. For there is no earth there. And I saw there something like an invisible cloud, for by reason of its depth I could not look over it, and I saw a flame of fire blazing brightly, and things like shining mountains circling and sweeping to and fro. And I asked one of the holy angels who was with me, and said unto him, What is this shining thing? For it is not a heaven, but only the flame of a blazing fire, and the voice of weeping and crying and lamentation and strong pain. And he said unto me, This place which thou seest, here are cast the spirits of sinners and blasphemers, and of those who work wickedness, and of those who pervert everything that the Lord has spoken through the mouth of the prophets, even the things that shall be. For some of them are written and inscribed above in the heaven, in order that the angels may read them and know that which shall befall the sinners, and the spirits of the humble, and of those who have afflicted their bodies and been recompensed by God, and of those who have been put to shame by wicked men, who loved God, and loved neither gold nor silver nor any of the good things which are in the world, but gave over their bodies to torture, who, since they came into being, longed not after earthly food, but regarded everything as a passing breath, and lived accordingly. And the Lord tried them much, and their spirits were found pure, so that they should bless his name. And all the blessings destined for them I have recounted in the books, and he has assigned them their reward, because they have been found to be such as loved heaven more than their life in the world. And though they were trodden under foot of wicked men, and experienced abuse and reviling from them, and were put to shame, yet they blessed me. And now I will summon the spirits of the good who belong to the generation of light, and I will transform those who were born in darkness, who have not in their bodies been recompensed with such honor as their faithfulness deserved. And I will bring forth in shining light those who have loved my holy name, and I will seat each on the throne of his honor, and they shall be resplendent. For times without number, for righteousness is the judgment of God. For to the faithful he will give faithfulness in the habitation of upright paths. And they shall see those who were born in darkness cast into the darkness, while the righteous shall be resplendent, and the sinners shall cry aloud and see them resplendent. And they indeed shall go where days and seasons are prescribed for them. There was a wise man, a great artificer, and the Lord conceived love for him and received him, so that he should see the highest dwellings and be an eyewitness of the wise, and great and inconceivable and immutable realm of God Almighty, of the very wonderful and glorious and bright and many-eyed station of the Lord's servants, and of the inaccessible throne of the Lord, and of the degrees and manifestations of the incorporeal hosts, and of the ineffable ministration of the multitude of the elements, and of the various apparition and singing of the host. The Lord summoned Enoch and said to him, Enoch, sit down on my left with Gabriel. And I bowed down to the Lord, and the Lord spoke to me, Enoch, beloved, all that you see, all things that are standing still and moving, were brought to perfection by me, and not even to angels have I explained my secrets, nor related to them their origin, but to you alone have I revealed my secrets, and willingly and lovingly I have disclosed to you how from the invisible I made the visible. And Enoch answered the Lord and said, O sovereign Lord, I see the whole world in front of me, and I see the stars that you have created, and all men that are born on the earth. And I see the principal things that you made standing before you, and I see also their activities, and you have commanded me to be born of a man, and to be one of those who go down to the earth. O Lord, what is man, that you are mindful of him, or the Son of Man, that you visit him? And the Lord said to Enoch, Fear not, Enoch, righteous man, scribe of righteousness, come near to me and hear my voice. Go and say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent you to intercede for them, you should intercede for men, and not men for you. Why have you left the high, holy, and eternal heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, and taken to yourselves wives, and done like the children of earth, and begotten giants as your sons? Though you were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and have begotten children with the blood of flesh, and, as the children of men, have lusted after flesh and blood as those who die, and perish. Therefore I have given them wives also, that they might impregnate them, and beget children by them, that thus nothing might be wanting to them on earth. But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world, and therefore I have not appointed wives for you, for as for the spiritual ones of the heaven, in heaven is their dwelling. And now the giants, who are produced from the spirits and flesh, shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men, and from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. They shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses, and these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. And I, Enoch, had been blessed by the Lord of glory, the eternal King. At that time I was taken up by two men, and none of the children of men saw me, or knew where I was taken, or what had become of me. And I was carried up into the highest heaven, and the watchers set me down there. And I saw in the first heaven a very great sea, larger than any earthly sea. And they brought before my face the elders and rulers of the stellar orders, and they showed me many mysteries. And they said to me, "Have courage, Enoch, do not fear. God has shown you his good things to instruct you in the knowledge of heavenly and earthly things, and the writing of all the orders of heaven and earth, and the signs of the sun and moon, and of the stars in their courses, and of the times, years, days, and hours. And they led me to the second heaven, and showed me darkness greater than earthly darkness. And there I saw prisoners hanging, guarded and awaiting great and boundless judgment. And these are the angels, who kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation and abode. And there were dark clouds, a gloom of darkness over them, and no light above them, and only a fire that burned continually. Then I asked the men who were with me, "Why are these being held in such torment?" And they answered me, "These are God's apostates, who did not obey the commands of the Lord, but took counsel with their own will, and turned away with those who are condemned with them." And those men took me from there, and brought me up to the third heaven. And they set me down in the midst of a garden, the place of righteousness. I beheld pleasant trees, whose fragrance was sweet and penetrating, and in the midst of them was the tree of life, in that place where the Lord rests when he goes into paradise. And this tree is of indescribable beauty and fragrance, more than any created thing. Its fruit is like grapes from the palm, and its leaves are like those of the carob tree, and beneath it a spring flowed that sent forth honey, milk, oil, and wine. And it parted into 4 streams that flowed quietly around the garden, and around it were trees of beautiful colors, and their fragrance was rich and sweet. And I looked and saw other fragrant trees full of fruits and blossoms, and I said, "How beautiful is this place! It is more delightful than anything on earth." And the men said to me, "This place, Enoch, is prepared for the righteous, who endure all trials and afflictions in their lives, and who walk in uprightness and love God. This is their eternal inheritance." Then they took me from there and brought me to a terrible place, and there were all kinds of tortures, and darkness, and gloom, and a great fire burning. And in that place were all the sinners who deny God, and who commit wickedness and unrighteousness. And I said, "Woe to the sinners! Truly this is the place prepared for them forever." And those men took me and led me up onto the 4th heaven, and showed me all the successive goings, and all the rays of the light of sun and moon. And I measured their goings and compared their light, and saw that the sun's light is greater than the moon's, its circle and the wheels on which it runs always, like a wind going past with very marvelous speed. And the day's light comes from the sun, and it passes through 7 portions of heaven. And the angels set it on the chariot, and the light goes round the wheel, and beneath it rolls a flame. And as it goes, it sends out warmth and fire to the earth. 7 great light-giving stars are assigned to the sun, to whom are entrusted the whole course of the year, 7 great archangels who rule over the seasons of the year. These conduct the sun and the moon and the stars according to the commands of the Lord. And in like manner I saw the moon, with her wheels like the sun's wheels, and her course and her light, and how it arises and sets, and how her light is not full but in measure. And I saw the paths of the angels, how they keep faith one with another by the command of the Lord. And they showed me all the heavenly motions, the courses of the stars, and how the sun and moon rise and set in accordance with the number of the days and the months and the names of the seasons and the hours. And those men took me and led me after them. And they brought me to the 5th heaven. And I saw there many innumerable armies called Grigori, and their appearance was like men, and their size was greater than that of giants, and their faces withered, and their silence was perpetual. And I said to the men who were with me, "What is the matter with these? Why are they so very mournful, with faces downcast and silent?" And they answered me, These are the Grigori who turned from the Lord. 100 of them descended to the earth in the days of Jared, the father of your father, and they sinned with women and defiled the earth. And these are held in the 5th heaven in great torment. But their brothers are dispersed among the mountains and on the earth, and they mix with women, and they have begotten giants who have not peace or rest. And I said, I beseech you, why do they not go to judgment, or bring their punishment swiftly upon them? And they said to me, till the day of the great judgment, when the great and eternal judgment is executed upon them, they will remain here and weep because they were bound. Then I praised the Lord of glory and said, Blessed is the judgment of the Lord of righteousness, for he is just. And those men took me from there and led me up to the 6th heaven. And I saw there 7 bands of angels, very bright and very glorious, and their faces shone more than the sun, gleaming with fiery eyes, and they were all singing in unison with a sweet voice, and their singing never ceased, day and night. And I asked the men who were with me, Who are these glorious beings, so full of praise and song? And they said to me, These are the archangels, who are appointed over the seasons and the years, and the rivers and the sea, and the fruits of the earth, and the whole order of the world. They give praise and glory to the Lord at all times, and offer him sweet-smelling praise. And these are the ones who go in and out with the sound of singing and rejoicing, and proclaim the coming of the Lord and all his works. And they do not depart day or night from before the face of the Lord, but they remain forever in the presence of the Lord, and serve him with praise. And I said, How glorious is the ministry of these angels, and how blessed is the place where they dwell. And those men took me thence, and led me up onto the 3rd heaven, and placed me there. And I looked downwards, and saw the produce of these places, such as has never been known for goodness. And I saw all the sweet-flowering trees, and beheld their fruits, which were sweet-smelling, and all the foods borne by them bubbling with fragrant exhalation. And in the midst of the trees, that of life, in that place whereon the Lord rests when he goes up into paradise. And this tree is of ineffable goodness and fragrance, and adorned more than every existing thing. And on all sides it is in form, gold-looking and vermilion and fire-like, and covers all, and it has produce from all fruits. Its root is in the garden at the earth's end, and paradise is between corruptibility and incorruptibility. And 2 springs come out, which send forth honey and milk, and their springs send forth oil and wine, and they separate into 4 parts, and go round with quiet course, and go down into the paradise of Eden, between corruptibility and incorruptibility. And thence they go forth along the earth, and have a revolution to their circle, even as other elements. And here there is no unfruitful tree, and every place is blessed. And there are 300 angels, very bright, who keep the garden, and, with incessant sweet singing and never-silent voices, serve the Lord throughout all days and hours. And I said, How very sweet is this place! And those men said to me, This place, O Enoch, is prepared for the righteous, who endure all manner of offense from those that exasperate their souls, who avert their eyes from iniquity, and make righteous judgment, and give bread to the hungering, and cover the naked with clothing, and raise up the fallen, and help injured orphans, and who walk without fault before the face of the Lord, and serve him alone. And for them is prepared this place for eternal inheritance. And those men took me from there, and they led me up unto the 4th heaven, and showed me all the successive goings, and all the rays of the light of sun and moon. And I measured their goings, and compared their light, and saw that the sun's light is greater than the moon's, its circle and the wheels on which it goes always, like a wind going past with very marvelous speed, and day and night it has no rest. Its passage and return are accompanied by 4 great stars, and each star has under it 1,000 stars, to the right of the sun's wheel, and by 4 to the left, each having under it 1,000 stars, altogether 8,000, issuing with the sun continually. And by day 15 myriads of angels attend it, and by night 1,000. And 6 winged ones issue with the angels before the sun's wheel into the fiery flames, and 100 angels kindle the sun and set it alight. And the Lord let me come to that heaven. And I saw how the circles of the sun move, and I saw how when it rises it casts a flame, and it goes forth from the rising of the sun, and when the sun sets it disappears from the sky, and all the heat of it vanishes. And I saw how the sun goes down and returns, gathering together its light under the earth, and in its circle returns through the north. And I saw how the moon goes around the path under the sun, and it is much smaller than the sun, and its circle is smaller, and the stars do not go in their own paths, but they are held fast in the circle of the sun. And I looked and saw other flying elements of the sun, whose names are phoenixes and chalkidri, marvelous and wonderful with feet and tails, in the form of a lion and a crocodile's head. Their appearance is empurpled like the rainbow. Their size is 900 measures. Their wings are like those of angels. Each has 12 wings. They attend and accompany the sun, bearing heat and dew, as it is ordered them from God. Thus the sun revolves and goes, and rises under the heaven, and its course goes under the earth with the light of its rays, and there is nothing hidden from its heat. And those men took me and brought me to the 5th heaven. And there I saw many hosts of the Grigori, and their appearance was like men, and their size was greater than that of great giants, and their faces withered, and their silence perpetual. And there was no liturgy in the 5th heaven. And I said to the men who were with me, Wherefore are these very withered, and their faces melancholy, and their mouths silent? And wherefore is there no liturgy in this heaven? And they said to me, These are the Grigori, who with their prince Satanael rejected the Lord of light, and after them are those who are held in great darkness on the 2nd heaven, and 3 of them went down onto earth from the Lord's throne to the place Hermon, and broke through their vows on the shoulder of the hill Hermon, and saw the daughters of men how good they are, and took to themselves wives, and befouled the earth with their deeds, who in all times of their age made lawlessness and mixing, and giants are born, and marvelous big men, and great enmity. And therefore God judged them with great judgment, and they weep for their brethren, and they will be punished on the Lord's great day. And those men took me, and led me up onto the 6th footstool. The men took me from there, and led me up onto the 7th heaven. And I saw there a very great light, and all the fiery armies of the great archangels, and the incorporeal powers, and lordships, and principalities, and dominions, and cherubim, and seraphim, and thrones. All the hosts are without number, and I saw a great and ever greater crowd of people standing before the Lord. And the Lord called out to the first angel, very glorious, who had a book in his hand, and he opened the book and read before the Lord. And the Lord said to me, Give Enoch the books, and raise him up into the place of his greatness, and raise him up before my face. And the Lord called one of his archangels, very glorious, and he took me up, and the appearance of the face of that angel was like iron. And he clothed me with garments of glory, and he placed me in front of the Lord, and he bowed before me. And the Lord spoke to me, Enoch, beloved, all that you see, all things that are standing finished, I tell to you, even before the very beginning, all that I created from non-being, and visible things from invisible. And to me the Lord spoke, Enoch, sit down on my left with Gabriel. And I bowed down to the Lord, and the Lord spoke to me, Enoch, beloved, whatever you see and whatever things are standing still or moving, and whatever I speak to you, I will teach you. For the archangel Michael is writing all the secrets of the Lord in a book, from the creation of the world, and all that has been done, and all the deeds of men, until the end of time. And other books no man has seen, and none shall see, but only my special ones. And at the end of many years I sat down for a second time, and I saw a flaming fire, and the fire ran around me, and in the midst of the fire was a voice. And I heard the voice like the sound of many waters, like the sound of the sea. and the voice of the fire and its lightning, with a sound of tumult. And I fell on my face before the Lord of hosts. And the Lord called me and said to me, Enoch, sit down on my left with Gabriel. And I bowed down to the Lord, and the Lord spoke to me, Enoch, beloved, whatever you see and whatever things are standing still or moving, and whatever I speak to you, I will teach you. And the Lord showed me the structure of all things, how they are in measure and weight and manner. And I wrote down all the deeds of men from the beginning, and I wrote down all that has been done among men before the flood. And I saw the whole host of the heavens, and the things that were under the earth. And I saw the treasuries of all the winds, and I saw how he has weighed out the whole creation on a scale. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth, the deepest depths, and the pillars of the earth, and the ends of the heavens, and the breadth of the firmament. And I saw the treasuries of all the snow and the ice, and the angels guarding their treasuries. And I saw the punishment for all the works of mankind, and the rewards for the righteous. And I saw the lightnings and the stars, and how he calls them by their names. And the men took me onto the fifth heaven and placed me. And there I saw many and countless soldiers, called Grigori, of human appearance. And their size was greater than that of great giants, and their faces withered, and the silence of their mouths perpetual. And there was no service on the fifth heaven. And I said to the men who were with me, Wherefore are these very withered, and their faces melancholy, and their mouths silent? And wherefore is there no service on this heaven? And they said to me, These are the Grigori, who with their prince Satanael rejected the Lord of light. And after them are those who are held in great darkness on the second heaven, and 3 of them went down onto earth from the Lord's throne, to the place Hermon, and broke through their vows on the shoulder of the hill Hermon, and saw the daughters of men how good they are, and took to themselves wives, and befouled the earth with their deeds, who in all times of their age made lawlessness. And mixing, and giants are born, and marvelous big men, and great enmity. And therefore God judged them with great judgment, and they weep for their brethren, and they will be punished on the Lord's great day. And I said to the Grigori, I saw your brethren, and their works, and their great torments. And I prayed for them, but the Lord has condemned them to be under earth till heaven, and earth shall end forever. And thence those men took me, and bore me up unto the 6th heaven. And there I saw 7 bands of angels, very bright and very glorious, and their faces shining more than the sun's shining, glistening. And there is no difference in their faces, or behavior, or manner of dress. And these make the orders and learn the goings of the stars, and the alteration of the moon, or revolution of the sun, and the good government of the world. These are the archangels who are above angels, measure, all life in heaven and on earth, and the angels who are appointed over seasons and years, the angels who are over rivers and sea, and who are over the fruits of the earth, and the angels who are over every grass, giving food to all, to every living thing, and the angels who write all the souls of men, and all their deeds and their lives before the Lord's face. In their midst are 6 phoenixes and 6 cherubim, and 6 six-winged ones continually with one voice, singing one voice. And it is not possible to describe their singing, and they rejoice before the Lord at his footstool. And those 2 men lifted me up thence unto the 7th heaven. And I saw there a very great light, and all the fiery armies of the great archangels, and the incorporeal powers and lordships and principalities and dominions, the cherubim and seraphim and thrones, and the ranks and companies of the living creatures, and the ophans and the many-eyed ones, 9 regiments, the ones that are called the 9 orders, of the heavenly hosts. And I saw the 8th heaven, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Muzaloth, changer of the seasons, of drought and of wet, and of the 12 constellations of the circle of the firmament. And I saw the 9th heaven, which is called in Hebrew Kuchavim, where are the heavenly homes of the 12 constellations of the circle of the firmament, and the 10th heaven, whereon is God, and it is called Aravoth. And I beheld the view of the face of the Lord, like iron made to glow in fire and brought out, and it emits sparks, and is incandescent. Thus I saw the face of the Lord. But the face of the Lord is not to be talked about. It is so marvelous and supremely awesome and supremely frightening. And who am I to give an account of the incomprehensible being of the Lord and of his face, so extremely strange and indescribable? And how many are his commands, and his multiple voice, and the Lord's throne supremely great, and not made with hands, nor the quantity of those standing round him, troops of cherubim and seraphim, nor their incessant singing, nor his immutable beauty? And who shall tell of the ineffable greatness of his glory? And I fell prone and bowed down to the Lord. And the Lord with his lips said to me, Have courage, Enoch, do not fear. Arise and stand before my face into eternity. And the archistratege Michael lifted me up and led me to before the Lord's face. And the Lord said to his servants, tempting them, Let Enoch stand before my face into eternity. And the glorious ones bowed down and said, Let Enoch go, according to your word. And the Lord said to Michael, Go, and take Enoch from out his earthly garments, and anoint him with my sweet ointment, and put him into the garments of my glory. And Michael did so, as the Lord told him. He anointed me and clothed me, and the appearance of that ointment is more than the great light. And his ointment is like sweet dew, and its fragrance myrrh, and it is like the rays of the glittering sun. And I looked at myself, and I was like one of his glorious ones. And the Lord summoned one of his archangels, named Pravuil, who was wiser than all the other archangels, and wrote all the deeds of the Lord. And the Lord said to Pravuil, Bring out the books from my storehouses, and fetch a reed of quick writing, and give it to Enoch. And deliver to him the choice and comforting script out of your hand, and recite to him all that I dictate to you. And Pravil brought me the books smelling of myrrh, and gave me the reed of quick writing. And he said to me, Read. And I read in the tablets of heaven all the deeds of men, each generation and race, and for every one of mankind. And I saw what is, and what will be, how much will be done for every generation. And the Lord said to me, As it is written in your books, so will I do to all the generations of the world till the end. And I will do everything rightly. I have commanded my angels to place for you the accounts of all human souls in your books, so that you may see the justice of my command. I have created all worlds, and everything that is visible and invisible, and all the heavens, and all the firmaments, and the stars and planets. I established the foundation of the earth and the seas, and created all the things that move upon the earth. And I have placed the whole world under your dominion for you to see. And I have given you the tablets, that you may write down everything, so that it might be remembered for all time. From the highest stage of the seventh heaven I saw a marvelous light, and I could not look upon the light. And the great glory was seated there, and his raiment was brighter than the sun, and whiter than any snow. None of the angels could enter and could behold his face by reason of the magnificence and glory, and no flesh could behold him. The flaming hosts stood round about him, and the seraphim and the cherubim sang continually with an unceasing voice. And I beheld all these things, and trembled with great terror. And all my bones were loosened, and I fell upon my face, and I saw the Lord with my eyes. But the face of the Lord is ineffable, marvelous, and very awful, and very, very terrible. And who am I to give an account of the incomprehensible being of the Lord, and of his face, so extremely strange and indescribable? And I fell prone and bowed down to the Lord. And the Lord with his lips said to me, Have courage, Enoch, do not fear. Arise and stand before my face into eternity. And the archistratege Michael lifted me up, and led me to before the Lord's face. And the Lord said to his servants, tempting them, Let Enoch stand before my face into eternity. And the glorious ones bowed down and said, Let Enoch go according to your word. And the Lord said to Michael, Go and take Enoch from out his earthly garments, and anoint him with my sweet ointment, and put him into the garments of my glory. And Michael did so, as the Lord told him. He anointed me and clothed me, and the appearance of that ointment is more than the great light. And his ointment is like sweet dew, and its fragrance myrrh, and it is like the rays of the glittering sun. And I looked at myself, and I was like one of his glorious ones. And the Lord summoned one of his archangels, named Pravuel, whose knowledge was quicker in wisdom than the other archangels, who wrote all the deeds of the Lord. And the Lord said to Pravuel, Bring out the books from my storehouses, and fetch a reed of quick writing, and give it to Enoch, and deliver to him the choice and comforting script out of your hand, and recite to him all that I dictate to you. And Pravuel brought me the books smelling of myrrh, and gave me the reed of quick writing. And he said to me, Read. And I read in them all the deeds of men, and of all the children of flesh, who are upon the earth, to the remotest generations. And I immediately blessed the great Lord, the King of glory forever, in that he has made all the works of the world. And I praised the Lord because of his patience, and blessed him because of the children of men. And after that I said, Blessed is the man who dies in righteousness and goodness, concerning whom there is no book of unrighteousness written, and against whom no day of judgment shall be found. And from thenceforth I was numbered among the glorious ones. And the Lord summoned me with his own mouth, and said to me, Be brave, Enoch, do not fear, arise and stand before my face into eternity. And the archistratage Michael lifted me up, and brought me before the face of the Lord. And the Lord said to his servants, tempting them, Let Enoch go forth from here, and take the measurements of all heaven and earth and all the seas, and recount all the creation which I created, and write down all the foundations of all created things, and all that is visible and invisible. And Michael instructed me concerning the writings and the measurements and the instruction of all creation. And the Lord called upon one of the older angels, whose name was Vretil, and he made him swear by my name, and told him, Take Enoch, and put him on earth, and show him all that is there. Tell him all that I tell you, that he may understand and see what is there, and that he may write down the whole and interpretation of all that he sees and hears and learns in writing, so that he may understand all things created from the beginning, and all that he sees with his own eyes. And the Lord summoned me and said to me, Enoch, sit down on my left with Gabriel. And I bowed down to the Lord. And the Lord spoke to me, Enoch, Beloved, all that you see, all things that are standing still and moving, and all that I created from the non-being, I will tell to you before the visible and invisible, and I will instruct you in all things, so that you may write down all that you see and hear and know for the sake of future generations. And you shall write down all that is in heaven, and all that is in the earth, and in the seas, and in the abyss, and in the lower depths, and in the darkness, and all that is in the inner parts of the earth, and all the spirits and their powers. And you shall write down all things that are to come, all that is known and unknown, Enoch. And you shall write down everything that I speak to you, a book for future generations, so that they may know and understand and not be in error. For I am the creator of all things, and I alone am the Lord. And I watched as the Lord spoke to me, and he opened before me all the treasures of his works, and the secrets of the times, and the ends of the ages, and the turning of the years, and the commandments and the thoughts of every creature. And the Lord spoke to me, Whatever you see and hear, write it in a book, and make it known to your sons, and to all who desire to walk in the ways of righteousness. And I appointed the 8th day also, that the 8th day should be the first created after my work, and that the first 7 revolve in the form of the 7,000, and that at the beginning of the 8,000 there should be a time of not counting, endless, with neither years nor months nor weeks nor days nor hours. And now, Enoch, all that I have told you, and all that you have understood, and all that you have seen with your eyes, and all that you have heard with your ears, and all that you have written in books by my great wisdom, all these things I have devised and created from the uppermost foundation to the lowest and to the end. And there is no counselor nor inheritor to my creations. I am self-eternal, not made with hands and without change. My thought is my counselor, my wisdom and my word are made, and my eyes observe all things how they stand here and tremble with terror. If I turn away my face, then all things will be destroyed, and apply your mind. Enoch, and know him who is speaking to you, and take thou the books which you yourself have written, and I give you Samuel and Raguel, who led you up, and the books, and go down to earth, and tell your sons all that I have told you, and all that you have seen, from the lowest heaven up to my throne, and all the troops, for I created all forces, and there is none who resists me, or who does not subject himself to me, for all submit themselves to my monarchy, and labor for my sole rule. Give them the books of the handwriting, and they will read them, and will acknowledge me as the creator of all things, and will understand how there is no other God but me. And let them distribute the books of your handwriting, children to children, generation to generation, nations to nations. I have given Enoch the right to interpret the instruction and the language of the books, and to carry them to the people, and to deliver them with diligence. And I have given him Samuel and Raguel, the holy guides, and they shall go with him, and deliver him to the earth, and they shall place him on the night upon his bed, and they shall deliver to him the writings, which explain the works of the heavens and the earth, and all the works and instructions that Enoch has written down. And Enoch was taken down to the earth on the night, and he was placed upon his bed, and his books were placed at his head. And Enoch slept a heavenly sleep, and he saw nothing until he awoke with the knowledge that he had been instructed by the Lord. I saw the storehouses of all the winds, and I saw how with them he has adorned all creation, and I saw the foundations of the earth, and I saw the cornerstone of the earth, and I saw the four winds which support the earth, and the firmament of the heaven, and I saw how the winds stretch out the height of heaven, and have their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of the heaven, and I saw the winds which turn the heaven, and cause the orb of the sun, and all the stars to set. And I saw the winds on the earth carrying the clouds, and I saw the paths of the angels. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of the heaven above. And then I made firm the heavenly circle, and made that the lower water which is under heaven collect itself together into one whole, and that the chaos become dry, and it became so. Out of the waves I created rock hard and big, and from the rock I piled up the dry, and the dry I called earth, and the middle of the earth I called sea, a gathering together of the waters. And I saw that it was good. And I said to the sea, Behold, I give you your eternal limits, and you shall not break loose from your component parts. And thus I made fast the firmament. This day I called the first created, and for all the heavenly troops I imagined the image and essence of fire, and my eye looked at the very hard, firm rock. And from the gleam of my eye the lightning received its wonderful nature, which is both fire in water and water in fire. And one does not put out the other, nor does the other dry up the one. Therefore the lightning is brighter than the sun, softer than water, and firmer than hard rock. And from the rock I cut off a great fire, and from the fire I created the orders of the incorporeal 10 troops of angels, and their weapons are fiery, and their garments a burning flame. And I commanded that each one should stand in his order. Here are the 10 classes of angels: archangels, archistrategies, powers, principalities, dominions, thrones, cherubim, seraphim, and the 10th class is the people who are called the phoenixes and the chochidri. These are they who are appointed to sing the Lord's praise in the high heavens. There is one angel who is higher than all that circle the throne, each of them 6-winged. With their wings they cover their face, their feet and their loins, and they fly with the remaining 2 and sing with a soft voice before the Lord. On the third day I commanded the earth to make grow great and fruitful trees and hills, and seed to sow, and I planted paradise and enclosed it, and placed flaming angels as guardians, and thus I created renewal. Then came evening, and morning came the fourth day. On the fourth day I commanded the sun's rays and the moon and the stars, and I placed them in the firmament of the heaven to shine upon the earth, and I appointed their times and their seasons, and the years and the days, and I divided the light from the darkness. And then I appointed a day for the fifth creation. On the fifth day I commanded the sea, that it should bring forth fishes and birds and creeping things. And the angels kept the commandment, and I created from the water 7 great islands, and the mountains and the seas and the rivers and the forests and the herbs, and from the earth I created the beasts and creeping things and all cattle. And on the 6th day I commanded my wisdom to create man from 7 components. 1. His flesh from the earth, 2. His blood from the dew, 3. His eyes from the sun, 4. His bones from stone, 5. His intelligence from the swiftness of the angels and from cloud, 6. His veins and hair from the grass of the earth, 7. His soul from my breath and from the wind, and I gave him 7 natures, the flesh for hearing, the eyes for sight, the soul for smelling, the blood for touch, the bones for endurance, the intelligence for enjoying, the veins for movement. I created man from invisible and visible nature. From both are his death and life and image. He knows speech like some created thing, small in greatness and again great in smallness. And I placed him on earth, a second angel, honorable, great, and glorious, and I appointed him as ruler to rule on earth and to have my wisdom. And I appointed for him 4 special stars, and called his name Adam, and I placed him in paradise. And I brought out a sleep over him, and he slept, and I took from him a rib, and created a woman, so that death might come to him by his wife. And I took his second face, and with it I made her, and I named her name Mother, that is to say, Eva. Adam lived on the earth for 930 years, and I blessed the 7 days, which I created, and on each of them I appointed an angel to be over it. And I said, Look, Adam, I have appointed the sun to shine by day, the moon and stars to shine by night. I appointed man's day to be from the rising of the sun until it sets, and night I appointed from the setting of the sun until it rises. Then I saw all the works of heaven and earth, and all that God created in 6 days. And I blessed all his creation, and on the 7th day I rested from all my works, and I appointed the 8th day also, that the 8th day should be the first created after my work, and that the first 7 revolve in the form of the 7,000. And at the beginning of the 8,000 there should be a time of not counting, endless, with neither years nor months nor weeks nor days nor hours. I have set the sun in heaven to light up the earth. From it I have made 12 windows open, from which the rays of the sun break out. When the sun goes down at the end of the day, it returns through the western windows and brings light to the whole firmament. It goes down under the earth with the light and with its heat. Then it remains hidden during the night in the bosom of the great sea, until it rises again in the morning, and then it shines from the eastern windows of heaven. And in this way it rises for 30 days in each month, and then sets in the western windows, and it does not cease to travel in the firmament forever. It goes up with the light of the moon and the stars in the firmament. The sun is a greater light than the moon, and it has a wheel on which it travels. The sun runs from one end of heaven to the other under the earth, and it receives the light from the great sea. In that way the light is given to the sun until it shines in the sky. When the sun rises up, the moon goes out, and all the stars are scattered out of its way. When the sun goes forth, all the stars are hidden from its face. The Lord created 7 great circles inside the firmament, and within them are fixed 1,000 stars. There are also 7 stars which are great, very bright, and not part of the 1,000. They move with the sun and the moon. These are the names of the 7 stars which are not part of the 1,000, or Kochab, Tamal, Ser, Na, Sa, and Liban. These are the ones that set in the west and rise in the east in their fixed order, each in its own season. They are not delayed, and they do not advance their course. They are each assigned their times by the command of the Lord. In their numbers and times they do not transgress. The Lord has set the stars in the firmament, and they move in obedience to his commandments. Each one knows its own name, and the orders given to it. They do not stray from their course, and they do not add to or take from their tasks. And the Lord summoned me and said, Enoch, sit down on my left with Gabriel. And I bowed down to the Lord, and the Lord spoke to me, Enoch, beloved, all that you see, all things that are standing still or moving, were brought to perfection by me, and not even to angels have I explained my secrets, nor told them their origin. But to you alone I have revealed my secrets, and you are the one whom I have taken from among men, and made chief over them. The Lord commanded that a book be given to me, written by his own right hand, a book of understanding and wisdom and knowledge of the spirits and of the structure of every form and of the beginning and end of times, and of the number and measure of the seasons, and of the instructions of all things for all living beings, both visible and invisible. He said, whatever you see, write in a book, and in another place write the teachings for your sons and for all those who shall live after you, so they may turn from the darkness and come into the light. And I, Enoch, took the book and sat down in the presence of the Lord. The spirits lifted me up and brought me to heaven. I saw in it a structure built of stones of crystal, and the floor was of crystal like the firmament. The middle of the stones was of fire, and above were the living beings of the cherubim, seraphim, and ophanim. They do not fall asleep and guard the throne of the Lord with shouts of joy. And I saw all the heavenly hosts standing in their ranks and glorifying the Lord with songs that never cease. And I fell on my face before the Lord of hosts. And the Lord summoned one of the archangels, named Pravil, who was wiser than all the others, and wrote all the deeds of the Lord on heavenly tablets. And the Lord said to Pravil, bring out the books from my storehouse, and give a pen to Enoch, and interpret to him the first beginning, and tell him all that is written in the books. And Pravil brought me the books, made from a flame of fire, and the Lord called me and said, take these books and read what is written in them. Then write out the contents for the generations of the earth, and give them to your sons, and to all who wish to walk in righteousness and peace. And I took the books and read them, and everything was written in them, all the works of men, and all the words of men, and all the deeds of mankind, both small and great. And all their thoughts were known to the Lord, who created them long before they were born. He knows the age of the world and its end. He sees all things, and nothing is hidden from him. I saw how each deed of man is weighed in the scales, and how there is nothing that escapes the balance of justice. And the Lord said to me, these things I have told you, Enoch, and written down for you, so that you may give them to your sons, and they may give them to theirs, and to the generations to come. And this wisdom shall not perish from mankind, for those who understand shall preserve it, and those who receive the books from your hand shall bless your name and the name of the Lord who gave the commandment, and they shall be blessed forever. And the Lord said to me, Enoch, I have ordered you to be lifted up from your body on the earth to this place, and I have commanded that you be shown the whole course of things from the beginning to the end. You have seen what is on the earth and what is in the heavens, and what is under the earth, and in the deep, and in the outermost places. And in all their generations I have not created a second like you, to whom I have shown all my secrets, and revealed the structure of creation, and the number of the times, and the orders of the visible and the invisible. And write down all that I have spoken to you. And I give you a period of 30 days to instruct your sons and your household and all the children of your race. And after 30 days I will send my angel for you, and he will take you from the earth and from your sons to me. Wisdom found no place where she could dwell, and her dwelling was in heaven. Wisdom went out to dwell among the children of men, but she found no dwelling place. Wisdom returned to her place, and took her seat among the angels. Unrighteousness went out from her chambers. She found those who did not seek her, and lived among them like rain in the desert, and dew on a parched field. I saw other lightnings and the stars of heaven, and I saw how he called them all by their names, and they listened to him. I saw how they are weighed with a righteous balance, according to their light, the width of their spaces, and the day of their appearing. I saw how their revolution produces lightning, and their number is in accordance with the number of the angels. They keep their faith with one another. I asked the angel who went with me and showed me all the hidden things. What are these? And he said to me, These are the names of the righteous who dwell on the earth and believe in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. I saw the chambers of all the winds, and I saw how he had adorned all creation. I saw the foundations of the earth and the cornerstone that supports it. I saw the winds that support the clouds, and how they are balanced between earth and heaven. I saw the paths of the angels, and how they travel their appointed ways. I saw the end of the earth, and the firmament of heaven above. Then I said, This is truly a marvel, O Lord, how all these things are established and kept in order. And the angel said to me, All these things which you have seen serve the righteous, and are preserved by the command of the Lord, that they may bless and glorify him who made them. This is the second parable about those who deny the name of the dwelling of the holy ones and the Lord of spirits. They will not ascend to heaven, nor will they set foot upon the earth. Such will be the lot of sinners who have denied the name of the Lord of spirits, and who are thus reserved for the day of suffering and tribulation. On that day, the elect one will sit upon the throne of glory. He will choose their works, and their resting places will be countless. Their spirits will be strengthened when they see the elect one, and those who have been cast out will rejoice, for the Lord of spirits has appointed them their lot. And there I saw one who had a head of days, and his head was white like wool. With him was another whose face had the appearance of a man, and his face was full of grace, like one of the holy angels. I asked the angel who went with me, and showed me all the hidden things about that Son of Man, who he was, and from where he came, and why he went with the head of days. He answered and said to me, This is the Son of Man who has righteousness, and righteousness dwells with him. He will reveal all the treasures of that which is hidden, for the Lord of spirits has chosen him, and his portion has surpassed all others before the Lord of spirits in everlasting uprightness. In those days, the prayer of the righteous and the blood of the righteous will ascend from the earth before the Lord of spirits. The holy ones who dwell in the heavens will unite their voices, praying, praising, and giving thanks and blessing the name of the Lord of spirits, on account of the blood of the righteous that has been shed. They will pray that the blood of the righteous may not be in vain before the Lord of spirits, and that justice may be done for them, and that they may not have to suffer forever. And in those days I saw the head of days sit down upon the throne of his glory, and the books of the living were opened before him. All his host which is in heaven above and his council stood before him. The hearts of the holy were filled with joy, because the number of the righteous had been completed, and the prayers of the righteous had been heard, and the blood of the righteous had been required before the Lord of spirits. And in that place I saw the fountain of righteousness, which was inexhaustible. Around it were many fountains of wisdom, and all the thirsty drank of them, and were filled with wisdom. Their dwellings were with the righteous, and the holy, and the elect. And at that hour the Son of Man was named in the presence of the Lord of spirits. Before the sun and the signs were created, before the stars of heaven were made, His name was named before the Lord of spirits. He shall be a staff for the righteous and the holy, that they may lean upon him and not fall. And he shall be the light of the Gentiles, and the hope of those who are troubled in heart. All who dwell on earth shall fall down and worship before him, and will bless and glorify, and sing praises to the name of the Lord of spirits. For wisdom has been poured out like water, and glory will not fail before him for ever and ever. For he is mighty in all the secrets of righteousness, and unrighteousness will vanish like a shadow and have no existence. Because the elect one stands before the Lord of spirits, and his glory is everlasting, and his might for all generations. In him dwells the spirit of wisdom, the spirit that gives insight, the spirit of understanding and of might, and the spirit of those who have fallen asleep in righteousness. He shall judge the secret things, and no one will be able to utter a false word before him, for he is the elect one before the Lord of spirits, according to his good pleasure. In those days a change shall be prepared for the righteous and the elect. The light of days shall dwell upon them, and glory and honor shall turn to the holy. On the day of affliction, when evil shall be gathered against the sinners, the righteous shall be victorious in the name of the Lord of spirits. He will cause the others to witness this, so that they may repent and turn from the works of their hands. They shall have no honor through the name of the Lord of spirits, yet through his name they shall be saved. And the Lord of spirits will have compassion on them. For his mercy is great, and his judgment is just. And in those days the earth will return that which has been entrusted to it, and Sheol will return that which has been entrusted to it, which it has received. And hell shall give back what it owes. He shall choose the righteous and holy from among them, for the day has come when they must be saved. The elect one shall sit on his throne, and from his mouth shall come out all the secrets of wisdom and counsel. For the Lord of spirits has given them to him, and has glorified him. In those days the mountains shall leap like rams, and the hills shall skip like lambs satisfied with milk, and all the righteous shall become angels in heaven. Their faces shall shine with joy, for in those days the elect one shall be exalted, and the earth shall rejoice, and the righteous shall dwell upon it, and the elect shall walk upon it. And after those days, at that place where I had seen all the visions of that which is hidden, for I was taken up by the whirlwind and carried off westward, there my eyes saw all the secret things of heaven that shall be: a mountain of iron, a mountain of copper, a mountain of silver, a mountain of gold, a mountain of soft metal, and a mountain of lead. And I asked the angel who went with me, saying, What are these things which I have seen in secret? And he said to me, All these things which you have seen serve the dominion of his Messiah, so that he might be strong and mighty on the earth. There my eyes saw a deep valley with open mouths, and all who dwell on the earth and sea and islands will bring him gifts and offerings, yet that deep valley will not be filled. Their hands commit evil, and everything they do is unrighteous, and the sinners devour the things of my people with injustice. I saw how that valley was filled with sinners, and how they made mockery and blasphemed the Most High. There they shall be destroyed. And I said, Blessed is the man who has not been born, or who has not seen the sin that is committed under heaven. Then I looked and turned to another part of the earth, and I saw a deep valley with burning fire. They brought the kings and the mighty, and began to cast them into that valley. There my eyes saw how they made instruments for them, iron chains of immeasurable weight. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, saying, For whom are these chains being prepared? And he said to me, These are being prepared for the hosts of Azazel, that they may take them and cast them into the abyss of complete condemnation. They will cover their jaws with rough stones, just as the Lord of spirits has commanded. Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel shall take hold of them on that great day, and cast them into the burning furnace, so that the Lord of spirits may take vengeance on them for their unrighteousness. for becoming servants of Satan and leading astray those who dwell on the earth. And the Lord of Spirits said, The day of judgment has been prepared. The kings and the mighty and those who possess the earth shall be humbled. They shall see my elect ones sitting on the throne of glory, and they shall be judged for their deeds. And from that day onward they shall not hope for mercy or life, for their judgment has gone forth. Their spirits shall be crushed, and their bodies shall be burned in fire. They shall cry and lament in pain for ever and ever, for they shall not be delivered from the judgment of the Lord of Spirits. And I saw there the hosts of the angels of punishment. They were going, and they held scourges and chains of iron and bronze. I asked the angel of peace who was with me, To whom are these going? And he said to me, To their chosen and beloved ones, so that they may be cast into the chasm of the abyss of the valley. And that valley will be filled with their chosen and beloved, and the days of their lives will be at an end. The days of their error shall cease. From that time forward, the punishment of the Lord of Spirits shall be complete, and their judgment shall be according to his greatness and his justice. And none shall escape his hand. And I began to speak the third parable concerning the righteous and the elect. Blessed are you, the righteous and the elect, for glorious is your portion. The righteous shall be in the light of the sun, and the elect in the light of eternal life. The days of their life shall be unending, and the days of the holy without number. They shall seek the light, and find righteousness with the Lord of Spirits. Peace shall be with the righteous, and the path of the righteous shall be in the truth. They shall rejoice in the name of the Lord of Spirits forever. And I began to speak the fourth parable concerning the righteous and the elect. The holy and elect shall descend from the high heaven, and their seed shall become one with the children of men. In those days Enoch received books of zeal and wrath, and books of disquiet and expulsion. And mercy shall not be shown to the sinners, says the Lord of Spirits. And in those days a whirlwind carried me from the earth, and set me down at the end of the heavens, and there I saw another vision, the dwelling places of the holy, and the resting places of the righteous. Here my eyes saw their dwellings with the angels, and their resting places with the holy ones. In those days my eyes saw the secrets of the lightning and of the lights, and their judgments. They flash for a blessing or a curse, as the Lord of Spirits wills. There I saw the secrets of the thunder, and how it resounds above in the heavens. The sound of it is heard, and he causes it to strike down without being seen. The heavenly reservoirs are guarded by a host, and they are opened at the appointed times, and water flows over the earth in measure. I saw the storehouses of the winds, and how they are weighed and measured according to the strength of the earth's needs. And I saw the boundaries of the lightning and thunder, and the secrets of their courses, and how they move in obedience to the voice of the Lord of Spirits. In the year 500, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month, in the life of Enoch, in that parable I saw how the heavens of heavens trembled and were shaken violently, and how the powers of the Most High and the angels, thousands and thousands and myriads of myriads, were shaken with great trembling. And I looked, and the head of days sat on the throne of his glory, and the angels and the righteous stood around him. A great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me. My loins collapsed, and my spirit was changed. And the angel who came with me supported me and strengthened me. And he said to me, Why are you so afraid, O Son of Man? Be strong and do not fear, for the hidden things of the Lord of Spirits have been shown to you, and he has appointed you to reveal them. And in those days I saw how the books were opened, and the names of the righteous were recorded before the Lord of Spirits. And their deeds and paths of faith were seen, and the reward for their faith was prepared. In those days the Lord commanded the angels to summon the elect and the holy from among the earth, and to raise them up with joy. They shall come with garments of glory, and with shining garments from the Lord of Spirits. And your garments shall not wear out, and your glory shall not fade before the Lord of spirits. The righteous shall be in the light of the sun, and the elect in the light of eternal life, and the days of their life shall be without number. And the Lord commanded the kings, and the mighty, and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, saying, Open your eyes and lift up your heads, if you are able to recognize the elect one. And the Lord of spirits seated him on the throne of his glory, and the Spirit of righteousness was poured out upon him. The word of his mouth shall slay all the sinners, and all the unrighteous shall be destroyed from before his face. And in that day all the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who possess the earth shall rise up and see him, and they shall fall on their faces and worship, and set their hope upon the Son of Man. Then the Lord of spirits shall cause a great fear to fall upon them, and they shall be delivered into the hands of the righteous, and the righteous shall have victory in the name of the Lord of spirits. In those days the mighty and the kings of the earth shall speak to one another. Would that we had obtained righteousness and set our hope on the Son of Man, so that we might have had rest with him in his glory. Now we are cut off from the light and from the dwelling of righteousness. Our souls are filled with sin and lawlessness, and we are consumed because we did not believe in him nor listen to his name. And they shall be in deep distress and pain, and their spirits shall be full of fear. For they shall remember how they rejected the Lord of spirits and his anointed one. They shall cry out for mercy, but none shall be given to them. And they shall bless and glorify the Lord of spirits only with their mouths, while their hearts remain far from him, for their deeds were evil. In those days the Lord of spirits saw that the kings of the earth and the mighty had corrupted all their ways and the thoughts of their hearts. They made images of gold and silver and wood and clay, and they worshipped unclean spirits, demons, and every kind of idol. They poured out the blood of the righteous and devoured the flesh of men. The earth cried out against them, and heaven lamented. And the Lord of spirits said, I will not allow their deeds to continue forever, and I will judge them according to their works. The righteous shall see their downfall and rejoice, for they shall be delivered and vindicated by the name of the Lord of spirits. In those days Noah saw the earth had tilted, and that its destruction was near. He lifted up his eyes to heaven, and spoke with the Lord. And he said, Lord of the ages, who is great and glorious and long-suffering, do not forsake the earth, but preserve the seed of man. Do not abandon the world to corruption and destruction. And behold, a great voice came from heaven, saying, Fear not, Noah, a judgment is about to come upon the earth because of the deeds of men. But I will establish a covenant with you, so that life may continue on the earth. And the angels descended and taught Noah what he must do, so that he and his sons and their households might be preserved for future generations. And after this, the Lord said to Enoch, Now instruct your son Methuselah, and show him all these things that you have seen. Make sure that he understands them fully, and write everything down for him, and for those who will come after him, so that they may observe and do all according to your words. And Enoch answered the Lord and said, O Lord, I will do according to your word, and I will instruct my son Methuselah and his sons after him, as you have commanded me. Nothing will I conceal from them. Then the Lord gave Enoch books to deliver to his sons, and to the generations of the earth, books written by the finger of God, full of wisdom and instruction. And in those books which I gave to my son Methuselah, I've written all the works of each generation, and in the 7th part I have written about the creation, and that all creation was ordered by God, and I wrote all the deeds of men, each one in his time and season, and the judgments and punishments upon the wicked, and the rewards for the righteous. And now, my children, preserve the books that come from your father's hand, and hand them down to the generations of the world. For wisdom is given to a man by the Lord, and by it he will know the order of creation and the judgment of the times and the end of the age. Keep, therefore, my children, the writings of your father Enoch, and give them to your children and your children's children, so that they may have wisdom forever. And in those days Enoch was taken up from the earth, and none of the children of men knew where he was taken or where he went. His sons spent many days searching for him, but could not find him. And it came to pass, after Enoch was taken up, that the people began to live more unrighteously than before. They forgot the instruction and the guidance he had given them. Then Methuselah and his brothers took the books of their father Enoch and began to read them before the people. They taught the commandments and judgments written in them, and many turned from their evil ways, but some did not listen and hardened their hearts, and their sins multiplied in the earth. And after these days my son Methuselah chose from among his brothers those who would walk in the way of righteousness, to continue the teaching of the Lord that Enoch had commanded. And Methuselah stood in the assembly of the people and read aloud the words of the books of Enoch, so that all might hear and understand. And he said to them, "Do not turn aside from the way of truth which our father Enoch has shown us. For behold, he walks with the angels and stands before the face of the Most High." And the people who were wise in heart listened and followed after righteousness, but the foolish despised wisdom and went astray. Still, Methuselah and his chosen ones kept the records and continued to teach faithfully all their days. And in the year 365 of the life of Enoch, he was taken up into heaven on the first day of the month Sivan. He was carried aloft by the winds of heaven, and he disappeared from the sight of all who were on the earth. And all the days of Enoch's life were 365 years. He lived in truth and righteousness, and he did not taste death, for God took him, and his departure became a sign and testimony for all generations, that the Lord is faithful in all his words and just in all his works. And that those who walk in righteousness shall not perish, but shall be exalted forever. And it came to pass after this, that Enoch was taken up into heaven and shown all the secrets and mysteries of the Lord. The angel Vrevuel, who is swift with wisdom and scribe of the Most High, came and said to me, "Enoch, receive the books that you have written with your own hand, and take them and read them to your sons and all your household." And I, Enoch, took the books and returned to my house, and I read them aloud in the presence of my sons and my people. And I blessed the Lord of eternity, the great and living God, who is forever. And I now give you the instructions that the Lord has laid upon me. Keep them and fulfill them with a pure heart, so that you may find life. For the Lord is righteous in all his ways and just in all his judgments. And now, my children, I speak to you, walk in righteousness, and do not walk in the paths of unrighteousness, lest you be destroyed. Draw near to God and to the angel who speaks with you. And do not be double-minded or doubt in your heart. Do not say one thing with your mouth and think another in your heart. Do not allow your lips to lie before God. Keep the commandments and live according to the truth of the Lord's will. Guard your hearts from deceit and preserve your souls from error, so that you may be found blameless before him and may have peace all your days. For the Lord sees all things, and nothing escapes his attention, not even the thoughts of men's hearts. And now, my children, I give you this charge: love the Lord of heaven and walk in his ways. Do not turn aside from his face, and do not worship any graven image or unclean spirit or anything made by hands. For the Lord sees all things, and if you sin, you will be hidden from nothing. Do not commit adultery, or shed innocent blood, or covet your neighbor's goods. For all such things are written down in heaven. Walk in innocence and uprightness, and do not grieve the Spirit of the Lord who dwells in you. The Lord is a righteous judge who examines every thought and intention. Blessed is the man who opens his heart to wisdom and walks according to the will of the Most High. His inheritance shall be eternal, and his name shall be remembered in the book of life. And now, my children, keep your hearts from every injustice, which the Lord hates. Walk before his face with reverence and fear, and serve him alone. Bow down to no idol made with hands, nor to anything formed by man. For the Lord who created everything is invisible and sees all. He alone is to be worshipped and feared. Whoever does what is right, his name shall not be erased from the book of life. His work shall be recorded in heaven, and he shall dwell with the angels. Watch over your souls, my children, and guard your inheritance. Do not stain your hearts with sin, or your minds with wickedness. For the Lord examines all who live on the earth and knows every thought. Reflection on the Book of Enoch. Part 2. In the latter sections of the Book of Enoch, we witness a profound convergence of prophetic vision, moral philosophy, and cosmic order. The narrative moves beyond historical recounting into a symbolic portrayal of humanity's moral journey, underscored by divine orchestration. This portion of the text reveals a structured view of time and history, partitioned into meaningful epochs. Each era is characterized by either the flourishing or the decline of righteousness, presenting a rhythmic tension between divine justice and human disobedience. The future, however, is painted with hope, a coming age where truth and light are restored and the righteous are vindicated. Alongside these historical visions, the text shifts into a detailed exploration of the cosmos. The movements of celestial bodies, particularly the sun and moon, are not random but divinely orchestrated. The calendar, the seasons, and even the patterns of night and day are depicted as reflections of divine wisdom and order. The cosmos, in this sense, is not merely a backdrop, but an active testament to the Creator's precision and authority. Together, these reflections offer a holistic spiritual worldview, one that sees time, space, and morality not as disconnected elements, but as interwoven threads of a single divine tapestry. The call is clear: to live in awareness of this greater order and align one's life with the justice, wisdom, and purpose that the heavens themselves proclaim. Subscribe for more Bible videos and like and share to anyone who needs it.